Good afternoon, everybody. Hello and welcome along to your afternoon rabble here on the Rangers Rabble Podcast. I'm Martin, I'm your host, and today I am joined by Brian. Brian, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks. A little bit better than you by the sounds of things. So, yeah, good day watching the golf. Nice steak night, a few bottle of wine, couple of tins of cider. So, yeah, it was a good day.
You say bottle of wine as if it's posh. Was it a bottle of wine or was it a bottle of wine?
It was a whole bottle of wine. Yeah.
Red wine.
Red wine, yes. Red, yes.
Oh,
Very good.
so I maybe went a wee bit overboard last night as well.
What do you mean as well? I don't feel terrible.
No, but you're just an alcoholic, so I don't usually drink that much, especially on a school night. So yeah, I'm struggling a wee bit this afternoon, but I will get through it because I'm one of the professionals, and we'll get through it. The Champions League draw awaits. I was actually going to move the show to about 10 to 1, just to kind of so we don't run out of things to talk about before we get to the draw. But 12:30 it is. Brian, how was your weekend? By the way, out with the golf, how was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Worked Saturday, so it was a quiet Saturday for me. And then we did the Sunday supplement yesterday with yourself, so it was good. The weather's been a bit miserable. It's not great, so yeah, it's not been great that wise, but you make do. You make do, and you get on with it. And the golf was on yesterday, so that was a good replacement for football, I would say, because football's very quiet, and of course you couldn't watch the Hartlepool game against the B team because it was down in Hartlepool, so there was no coverage of that. So yeah, and it's Football Eve. We're back to the proper football tomorrow.
Yeah, Anton was always wondering what that drink was in that 2-litre bottle of Iron Brew that you had. Is it not usually Fanta you drink?
No, Lucozade. Lucozade. Iron Brew is the last resort if you're feeling rubbish for me. Lucozade does me well, but Iron Brew is definitely the last resort if you're really feeling bad. And it has to be the 1903, the proper stuff to, get back to normal.
Nah, I think Iron Brew is bogging. Bogging.
That's just that's terrible.
It's bogging. It's absolutely bogging. Right. Anyway, let's get into some Rangers news, Brian. And look, so the Champions League draw is at 1:00. So if we beat Panathinaikos, it's either Victoria Plzen or Servette, Brian, in the next round, right? If we don't beat Panathinaikos and we go into the Europa League, right, it's Besiktas or Shakhtar Donetsk, Brian. Now, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the Europa League way seems to be harder than the Champions League.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the Europa League draw should be a Champions League draw, shouldn't it? Because I mean, Shakhtar and Besiktas, when you compare Servette and Victoria Plzen, I mean, there's no comparison. You know what I mean? They're far more well-known teams, and I find it amazing that's the way the draw's worked out. But as our good Dougal said in the group chat, let's just beat Panathinaikos. We don't have to worry about Besiktas or Shakhtar, because that is certainly a draw you don't want. We do not want to go into that Europa League draw with that. I mean, it's a trip to Turkey, or I believe it's Poland where Shakhtar play now, obviously with things happening there. So yeah, I mean, Pilsen and Servette are going to be hard enough as it is. So, but yeah. I don't want a trip to Turkey. Let's be honest.
No, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, well, it's going to be easy if we get through, if we get past Panathinaikos, Brian, and we play Pilsen or Servette." But you would like to hope that if you make it to the Europa League, you get a slightly easier draw than Besiktas or Shakhtar Donetsk.
You would. I mean, Pilsen I think they got beat in the playoff round by Chelsea last year in the Conference League. So that's sort of where Pilsen are. Servette don't think they made past. Don't think they did get the group stage of Europa League either. So, it's a difficult one to sort of go on because Pilsen are always one of those teams that they sometimes get themselves into the Champions League and then they're not at that level. Kind of like us in a way. We're an established Europa League team, but making the jump to the Champions League is a big jump, and that's the problems that we're having to overcome in the next few years. Trying to get into Champions League football and trying to establish ourselves in there to be good enough to stay in it for the long haul. So yeah, it's going to be whatever way this Panathinaikos game goes, it's going to be a hard task either way, because I say Shakhtar and Besiktas or Servette or Plzen, it's not going to be easy anyway.
No. How are you feeling about tomorrow, by the way? Are you feeling more confident? Are you less confident? Are you happy with the squad? Are you happy with the signings? And I want to come on to talk about Russell Martin as well. But how are you feeling about tomorrow?
I'm feeling okay, actually. I do feel that we should beat Panathinaikos if truth be told. I'm feeling okay in the sense that the managers, identified players and got them in. Probably not as many as we want. I would like a few more, because there's still the squad's still fairly top heavy. We need to trim it by quite a bit, but I think the signings we've made have been good. I like the Gassama one. That's one that's going to excite the fans, I believe, although he won't play much of a role tomorrow night, obviously, because of his fitness. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think the first half, the last friendly we played, I think the first half team is probably not going to be too far away from our lineup tomorrow night, I would suggest. So we've got to, it's a game, full house, I believe, at Ibrox tomorrow. So that'll be good for the players as well. Get a taste of that. And let's be honest, it is going to be a tricky one tomorrow night, because if we don't get off to a reasonable start, then the fans are going to be very on edge and uneasy. So it's going to be a difficult one for the fans as well, because we're expecting so much. But I think we've really got to be quite patient tomorrow night, because it might not be as easy as we think. So we've got to remain patient. We've got to remain positive and stick behind the players, because it's going to be a tricky tie, I would suggest.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be. Well, I say it's not going to be easy. I don't know, Brian. I don't know where Panathinaikos are at, and their development. All the sounds coming out of Greece are that they're not in a great place.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to not trust the media of that country when they're talking about one of their own teams when they're going to play in Europe, Brian. The manager's coming out and saying we need to be better, etc., etc. So I've got absolutely no idea what to expect tomorrow.
No, again, Greek football's very. How could you put it? I mean, it's very much like sort of Glasgow in a way that there's a few ferocious teams in Athens. You've got the AEK, the Olympiacos, Panathinaikos. So there's it's a haven for football, and they're absolutely mad for it. So yeah, it's difficult to say where Panathinaikos. I mean, the only basis we've got is the guys that were in our group chat. We did that watch along for the draw. They weren't very positive about their team. They were saying they were struggling, and but it is going to be one of those. You've just got to hope that the scouts have done their homework on Panathinaikos, and they kind of know where they're going to be. So yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. Nobody's quite sure what's going to happen, but this is the problem with playing qualifications in July, isn't it? You don't quite know where teams are, because nobody's playing football really, apart from maybe like the Scandinavian countries who are well into their seasons. So yeah, it's going to be a tricky one for the players, because obviously they're only going to have to go by the very limited sort of friendly games they are, and we all know what friendly games are like. So yeah, it's going to be tricky.
I know. Again, I don't know how much of a difference it really makes, but our pre-season, Brian, does that set us up all right for this game?
No, I don't think we've played enough. Like, with fans in the stadium. I'd like to have had another couple at Ibrox with the fans in, just to give the players a bit more of an idea of how tomorrow night's going to go. I don't think we've played enough, games, as I say, with fans. I think that's been okay. We've maybe played a few behind closed doors games, but that doesn't prepare you for tomorrow night. Panathinaikos players, they might have a little bit of a surprise with how loud it is, but you want our players to be very comfortable with that sort of atmosphere and noise, and going over to Panathinaikos as well. So that's going to be, a tricky one for them as well. So, they're going to have two games back to back where there's going to be sort of ferocious, loud fan bases. So it's going to be an eye opener for both sets of players, I would suggest. But I would have liked a couple of more games at Ibrox with fans in there, just to get the new players used to having a large crowd at Ibrox. But unfortunately, that is not what's happened. So I'm a bit worried about that aspect.
No, I know it's strange because we've not had any games in front of supporters, and after we play the first leg against Panathinaikos, we're playing a game at the weekend, right? A friendly at the weekend. Yeah. So it's been a strange pre-season. It's been an unusual pre-season, but this could possibly be the way that we go moving forward. It could just be give the fans one, maybe two games, and the rest will be behind closed doors.
It could very well be, absolutely. I mean, we've not even had any away. The squad never sort of went abroad. So, we've played mostly our games in the UK. We've played all of them in the UK, haven't we? So, yeah, we normally go over to America or Germany, or, we go abroad at some point and do a bit of pre-season. But I think all the sort of the boardroom stuff affected us as well. I think that sort of stopped everything. It's almost as though the sort of behind closed door games were like hastily arranged, weren't they? They weren't set in stone. We only had Middlesbrough, and who did we play at Ibrox?
Barnsley.
No, not Barnsley. Ibrox. Who did we play?
Bruges.
Bruges, yeah.
Bruges.
So Bruges and Middlesbrough's been the only ones that we've had nailed on for the, for fans. So that, the rest of them have all been closed doors. And I think that's purely because of what happened in the summer with the board changes and the manager as well. So it's probably been a very stop-start sort of pre-season, and I don't think Russell Martin would have particularly liked that, but that's the situation we're in. So we've just got to get very positive tomorrow, get behind the players, and make as much noise and support the players as much, and put Panathinaikos under serious pressure.
Well, here's a Brian metaphor. Calm your farm, lads. I don't know what that means, but that's something that Brian would come out with. Solid defence, CD9 up front, get the cigars out. Thank you very much, Stephen, for the super chat, my friend. I hope you're well. And it must be pretty late over in Australia, I would think.
It'd be touching the next tomorrow,
1 in the morning,
over there.
Maybe 1 in the morning.
Yeah. Depends where he is in Australia, obviously.
Yes. So thank you very much, Stephen. Calm your farm, lads. Has anybody ever heard that before?
I reckon that's an Australian one. I think Stephen's come out with an Australian one there.
I think it may be. Although he does have a point when he says CD9 up front, get the cigars out. But Aldo's also asking, can we trust Danilo to be our number one striker? Brian, he seems to be one of the shining lights, I think, from especially the behind closed doors games. He's the one where he's getting all the assists and scoring all the goals. But can we go into these big games and trust him?
Well, before his bad injury that he got, he was actually doing really well. He scored. He's scoring a few goals. The late header against Hearts, he scored, and then he got the head knock against St Johnstone, where it all seemed to start going wrong for him. So his scoring record at Feyenoord was good as well. So he's obviously a guy that knows where the goal is, and it's been encouraging to see another number 9 producing the goods over the pre-season. So that's been encouraging. At least it's not relying on CD9 all the time, and there's another option there now, because I think that was the problem last year as well. It was pretty much CD9 because there was nobody else, and I think that's unfair to sort of shoulder the the responsibility on one guy all the time. So I think it's going to be good to have Danilo in a bit of form, scoring, assisting. At least one guy's not going to feel the burden of playing up front all the time on his own. So it's just nice to see another number 9 contributing quite heavily instead of just one.
Yeah. And I wonder how much of a part either Dessers or Igaman can play tomorrow night. I don't even know if Igaman's visas situation's been sorted. I don't know if Dessers has recovered from, was it an ankle knock he got?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they feature at all tomorrow.
It will be. I mean, I think Danilo Igaman was in the training videos, so I would imagine that's all been sorted now. I think, well, if he's in the training videos, then he's in the country, so I would like to think that's all sorted. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the sort of minutes that these players get, because obviously you can only make 5 subs, so there's some guys going to have to play the full 90. So yeah, it's going to be interesting in the respect of fitness and minutes, and it'll be interesting to see who starts tomorrow, and then obviously who comes on. So it's going to be it's going to be an intriguing team line tomorrow. But as I say, I think it'll be the first half we played, the last friendly. I think that will be the team as close to the team lineup tomorrow as possible. So, no, come on, Charles Sebo, come on.
What? He's got a point. I don't like to agree with him, but he's got a point.
He scored more than Sebo, hasn't he?
What's that got to do with anything?
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Don't you dare slag my Sebo, Ryan.
He scored a crucial goal against Aberdeen, to be fair.
I was there and I was right on line with it. Right on line with it. So was it the 89th or 90th minute or something like that? Right on line with it. He nearly ran through the advertising board. So, just before we come to Russell Martin, it's good to see Asgard in the squad, or he's been picked for it anyway, Brian, because that tells me that his injury, if he's going to miss a game, it will just be the first leg, or he might even get some minutes.
Yes, I think obviously you're not going to pick a guy at this stage if he's not going to play any part of the game. So you would, as you said, it would suggest that he might get some minutes against the home game, and then be more fit for the away fixture. So I was kind of hoping with this new management and new everything that this threat of new signings coming in and getting injuries, I thought that was going to be past us, but it's reared its ugly head again, and Asgard's sort of fell foul of that. So I'm kind of hoping it was just precautionary rather than anything serious. And I think, as you said there, but by picking him in the squad, he's obviously going to play a part in the second leg, maybe not the first.
Yeah, like I say, it'll be interesting to see. I'm buzzing for tomorrow. I'm just buzzing to have Rangers back, to be honest.
Yes.
This feels as though it's been the longest summer for a long, long time, Brian. I can't remember summers feeling this long.
No, I think it's purely because the fans have only been able to go to one pre-season. I think that's been the problem. If you'd had 3 or 4, 5 home games and you were going to the games, you would feel a bit more, right, this is getting closer. It's just dragged on because we've not been able to go to any games. I mean, there was fans having to travel down to Hartlepool yesterday to watch Rangers because they haven't been getting their fix. So, it just shows you the I wouldn't say frustration, but the desperation for the fans to see the team. They'll go and watch an under-19 game down in Hartlepool because they're needing their Rangers fix. So yeah, I think it's purely just been down to the fact that we've just had so little games that fans can go to, and I think it's just dragged because we haven't been able to see any games. Simple as that.
Well, actually, John makes a good point. It's because last season finished last December.
Well, there is that as well. Yes, yes. So last season finished very early for us, didn't it? So yeah, it was like the slow walk to the gallows, wasn't it? The last season, you just knew what was coming. You just had to make that walk and get it over and done with. So yeah, I'm afraid it's very much a case of it's been a long last season end and then the summer, and it's just been torturous. So yeah, we're so close now, and I'm so excited to get to see Rangers back playing football.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. Right, Russell Martin, Brian. How are we feeling about Russell Martin? The reason that I ask that before a big Champions League game is, and I know it's easy. If people are good at talking, they're good at talking, right? If managers are good in press conferences, they're good in press conferences, right? Um, but I've been so impressed with him, Brian, in every interview that he's done. And I was listening to, I was listening to Neil Warnock yesterday on BBC Scotland, and he said that 90 to 95% of management, to how to be a good manager, is all about man management. And he seems to me like a real good man manager, Brian.
Yes, I mean, I think the players that have obviously came to Ibrox have said that they've either worked before with him or known about his techniques and they like it. So that's a good that's a good start when you hear players saying they've came because they like the manager and how he operates. And I think Neil Warnock's right. I mean, back in the day, you didn't really have to manage players because it was an old the old way of doing things. But nowadays it is, you have to really sort of manage your players properly. You've got to operate in a squad. I mean, probably Walter Smith and all those guys probably only had maybe 15, 16 players in a squad, whereas now there's 25, 30 in a squad. So this is you're juggling a lot of plates, keeping everybody happy, giving them enough game time. So it can't be easy, trying to keep everybody happy and everybody motivated to keep going to training, even though they're maybe not getting the game time. So it is a lot trickier now, very much. You're having to, as I say, keep a lot of players happy and they're not playing. And that's the difficulty when you've got guys that aren't maybe getting the game time and you're still trying to keep them happy. So I must admit, I'm the same as you. I do like when he speaks, he says so many good things, and that's positive to hear as well. So, and he's obviously been an ex-player as well, so he kind of gets the pressures. So yeah, on the face of it, he seems very good, and everybody that's worked with him says he's good. So we've got to be positive about that.
Yeah, I think you're getting the mic to cut you again, Brian, and I don't know
Yes.
why. I have no idea why. By the way, who won the golf? Who won the Open? Was
Scheffler.
it Scheffler?
Yeah,
Very comfortable.
He made one. Yeah, I think he had a double bogey yesterday, and that was his only drop shots in the last 36 holes.
That's mental, isn't it?
Such good golf.
Yeah. Ross McCausland. Actually, I forgot to mention Ross McCausland, Brian. Apparently, there is a host of clubs looking at this young guy, including Harris, who, of course, have Connor Goldson. Again, we've had these conversations many times, but is that the best thing for Ross moving on?
Absolutely, I think it is. I think we were all very excited when he first came in because he came through the youth system, and you always like to see your own coming through and pulling on the blue jersey in the first team and doing well. But as time's gone on, his physicality just hasn't changed, does it? He's not. I've always said that he looks a little bit slight. He needs to build up, and it just hasn't worked out for him, I'm afraid. And it's just one of those ones that he was getting into the Northern Ireland team and he was doing things there, and you kind of thought, right, he is progressing, but he's kind of stagnated now, isn't he? He's not really progressed like everybody thought. So I'm thinking, for his sake, for his national team, playing for Northern Ireland as well, he needs to be playing football. So, and yeah, Aris seemed to be our feeder club that we give players to now, isn't it? So McCausland I've always thought was a little bit slight, and I think the time's right now for him to go out and make his own path in football, and get his head down and make his own way in the game. And it's just not worked out at Rangers. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, Sid's got a point. Ross at Malmo came on, changed the game, never forget it. I mean, there was something there, Brian, for Ross. And again, I'm always going to be biased because he's came through the academy, and I want as many players in the first team from the academy as absolutely possible. It's humanly possible. And there's something there with Ross. I just don't think we're ever going to see enough of it. I know wingers are inconsistent in general, but when Ross is off it, he's off it for months, Brian. And then when he's on it, it's 1, maybe 2 games max.
Yes, and I think multiple man's comment. I think you predicted that, ages ago, that he wasn't particularly. You didn't think he was going to be good enough for the B team, and all of a sudden he was catapulted into the first team. So you've been proven right on that one. So there we go. So no, he's, as I say, he's just not big enough. I've always said he's just not been strong enough physically, because wingers have got to be quite robust now. They're almost like inside forwards now. Because wingers are almost a thing of the past now. So he's almost. I just don't. He's, as you say, he's turned up in 1 or 2 games, but you can't do that. You can't just turn up in 1 or 2 games and hope that's enough. It's not enough. It's certainly a team like Rangers. You've got to be on it all the time. So yeah, it's unfortunate, this one, because I think everybody wanted it to work out, but for his career and for Rangers, it's probably best that he does depart and go his separate ways. Just more for his international sort of prospects as well.
Sorry,
nearly
saved that.
Nearly.
I saved that. Can I just ask everybody, albeit I'm not on top form today, and I apologise for that, it will not happen again. It will most certainly not happen again. If you're watching on YouTube, please do give us a like and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Your Facebook, Twitter, etc. Then make sure that you like and follow and all that good stuff and share. And Brian, what's that look in your face for?
I'm just laughing at some of the comments. That's all. I'm just laughing.
The comments make your day, don't they?
Yeah. London's one's tickled me. It will not happen again.
It doesn't happen every week. That's nonsense. That's absolute nonsense. Is there any worry, Brian, with Robin Proper? We're hearing rumours that the 20 deal may be falling through. We may be stuck with Robin now this season. And I don't like to say it like that, because he's a Rangers player, and if he's a Rangers player, I want him to do well. But this deal's looking as if it's under threat of not happening. Well,
I think FC Twente have almost pulled the plug, aren't they? They're sort of threatening, right? If this doesn't happen soon, then it's not happening. So this is just this has been landed on the manager and the sporting director, obviously through X deals done with. It's been I just feel this is just going to hang over us for a good while, unfortunately, and it's one that just needed to be done. I certainly don't agree with us having to pay up his contract and move him on. I'm not, because if that happens, then everybody will want that, and then all of a sudden you're in a world of trouble, aren't you? So I'm just kind of hoping that Twente can just get this deal done somehow, because the player needs it, we need it, and obviously Twente need it. So everybody wants this to happen. So I am worried in the sense, though, it's taken this long, because his ex-team, you would like to think, they would do everything to get him back. And if they're speaking and talking about this deal, just walking away from it, then that leaves us very open, doesn't it?
Yeah. And it's 20, not 20. But however,
FC Twente, isn't it?
20,
is it? 20.
Yeah. Well, let's just go with 20, Brian, shall we?
I thought it was FC
Let's not
20.
get a rabble out. Let's not get any more rabble out of context, shall we? Right, okay, doke, folks. That will do us for today. We are back tonight at 7:30. It will be myself, Stuart, and I should remember this, Brian. All right, myself, Stuart, and Brian. Fair enough. We'll be us back tonight at 7:30. Brian doing a double shift while his phone goes off its nut.
It's my watch, actually. It's my watch.
Oh, it's your watch. Oh, your posh fancy watch.
My posh fancy watch.
Yes. Try being on time, Martin. Big ass guy. I know.
Just before you go, it's 20, not 20.
Well, not all the comments are always right, Brian. No,
Rangers 55 is usually right, so I'll go with that.
All right, well, fair enough. Detective Munch with a super chat. Thank you very much, Detective Munch, for the support. Great show, guys. Thank you very much. Right, seat subs for tomorrow on sale. Everybody, just so you know. But we shall leave it there. Brian, thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you, Cammy. Enjoy my seat tomorrow because Cammy's taking my ticket for tomorrow because I can't go. I'm working, so Cammy's got my seat. So enjoy the seat, Cammy.
Yes, and you won't have a psycho behind you anymore, apparently.
No, poor Sam. No, he's yeah. Your ears are safe, Cammy. So you're fine. Poor Sam. Sam's a great lad. He really is. He really is. He just gets very excited at the football. Very excited.
Yeah, I can't wait for the new people he's sitting behind to find out. What he's like.
That'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant.
Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter. Make sure you're following and sharing and all that good stuff. Like I say, Brian, thank you very much. Thank you for the super chats today as well, folks. Thank you to everybody in the comments, everybody listening back across all the audio platforms. Just thank you. And we shall see you tonight. Everybody, hold on, Brian. Carry on. What is it? Oh, yes, there's a watch along.
You haven't seen Alex's excitement building over the last couple of weeks. Gee whiz.
Oh, as soon as I put the schedule in for the watch alongs, I've never seen Alex vote so quickly in all my life. So yes, there is a watch along. There's a build up, watch along, and reaction tomorrow. So folks, listen, go and enjoy the rest of your Monday, as much as Mondays can be enjoyable. And we'll see you tonight, every single one of you, 7:30.